So tools for follow-up. So write these down or take notes. These are the tools that you have at your disposal, and there's 13. There's 13 tools that you can use for follow-up. So part of the reason we're not following up is because we feel like we're not adding value. If you feel like you don't want to follow up, it's probably because you feel like you're pestering someone. If you feel like you're pestering someone, it's probably because you feel like you're always trying to take something from them, and that doesn't feel good. If you're a good person, let's just be clear, if you're a good person, you don't want to pester people. So if you're hesitant to follow up with someone, it's probably because you feel like you're pestering them. It's because you don't have enough tools in your toolbox to add value to that person's life, so you feel bad about following up because you're not adding value to their life. So here are a couple of tools that we can use for follow-up, and then we'll get into the content that we use for these tools. So number one is the phone call. Do not neglect the phone call, even if you've been texting with them for a while. Number one is the phone call. Number two is the text message. Number three is the email. One of the best ways to follow up on an email is with a phone call. Hey, the reason for the call is I wanted to see if you got my email. So these tools can be stacked if you want to. So we've got the phone call, text, email. Number four, a handwritten letter. Yes, believe it or not, a handwritten letter can cut through and make yourself unique and make yourself known in the eyes of your prospects. So you definitely check that out. And so another way you can use a handwritten tool, handwritten note, is you can write out the note, and then attach it to an email or send it via text message. So it's kind of the best of both worlds. Maybe you don't have the person's email, but you want to write them a handwritten note so they get the gesture that you're thinking about them. Handwritten note. Personal visits, right? If they're in town, or even if they're not in town, right? You can be like, the reason for the call is I'm going to be in your area next week. Can I stop by for a personal visit? And they might be like, most of the time they're going to say no, right? But then if they say yes, well, that's a great problem for you to have, right? I mean, get your butt on the plane, and if it's worth it, like, go do a personal visit. You could also do a personal visit. This is what Alex and I did last week. We went to a local FBO because we knew some of the people we're trying to get a hold of, that they were located there. And so we just filmed a video. Hey, we're here. Just checking out your plane. Hope everything's going well. Just thinking about you. I'm here for another client, but I saw your plane, or I'm here for another client. I know your plane's based in here, so it made me think of you. So a personal visit to the aircraft itself or to the individual. Number six, gimmicks. You can, send them a Starbucks card. You can send them a pizza. So one thing I've done before is I've sent a pizza to the guy's office, and I told, Pizza Hut to take out a slice and write in the box, we are the missing piece to help sell your jet. Enjoy the pizza, Tom, with JetLife Aero. And so it's just kind of a gimmick that they're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe he did that. Or I've sent editable arrangements. Anything you can kind of think of as a gimmick. That's number six. Number seven, an apology call, an apology text. Hey, I'm sorry for not getting your business. What could we have done? Or I'm sorry that we haven't been able to ink in a deal yet together. How can we get this across the line? What do you need more information on? Number eight would be a cell phone message. So literally just taking your phone and be like, hey, what's up? It's Tom. Hope you're doing well. Let's go. 9 would be social media. So if you have them on LinkedIn, or if you had them on Facebook or Instagram, you can tag them and call attention, so you can follow up with them that way. Or you take a piece of social media content and you send that to them. Hey, I saw this meme, thought of you. That sort of a thing. Speaking of memes, number 10 is photos and GIFs. Okay, so I found last week a meme creator that let me put my face on silly things, and so I would send that out. And actually, I got probably about 5 people to call me back that I haven't been in touch with. Some of them have been ghosting me just because I sent them a silly meme or a GIF. So you could do that today if you just want to spend time. Newsletters and blogs, build your email list. And if you want to create content like a blog, like, we can host that on the JetLife Aero website. So you can be like, hey, go check out my blog I did on this. It creates authority, it creates content, it creates value for your owner. So you can be like, hey, listen, like I know we were talking about the Super 2, the Super Citation 2. I actually wrote a blog about it. Check it out. Or, hey, I know we were talking about the market and where things are at in the market. So take a look at this blog. Different things you can do. Again, it's creating authority for yourself. Or you can guess right for somebody else. Like I'll guess right for AvBuyer. And so that's another piece of content that you can follow up with someone so that you're creative. Hey, did you see my article in AvBuyer this month? I've gotten a bunch of text messages from people that they're reading AvBuyer, and they text me like, hey, great article. And I wasn't even thinking about them. That's a form of follow-up because we're touching them. 12, testimonials, third-party validation. So we've got a couple Google reviews you can use. I've got testimonials from my previous clients. Maybe you have testimonials from people you've worked with in other industries that can attest to your character. They can attest to how you do business. So that's important. So use testimonials as a form of follow-up. Like, hey, just Bob, like I know we were talking this week. I look forward to doing business with you. Here's a testimonial or a case study of, something that we've done in the past. I actually got this from Grant Cardone's guys this week. I'm looking at investing in a program. They sent me a video of somebody else who just bought the program and with 1 month was generating more revenue for his business. That's a form of follow-up that provided value to me. And they just sent the video. It wasn't like they were, because I knew what the conversation was about. So they just sent me the video. They weren't like, hey, let's sign today. Like they just sent the video. And last but not least, a survey. Whether it's a already conducted survey or you want to ask, hey, I'm talking to all the Citation 500, 550 owners, and I'm just curious, what are your expectations in the market next year? Market average is currently, $1 million. What do you think it's going to be? From an owner's perspective, what do you think the value of the jet's going to be next year? That'd be a great way to do it. I'm just writing this down because I'm just thinking of this. Value of... And again, this could be people you haven't heard from yet, you're just talking to. So any questions on these tools? That's 13 tools you can start using today on how to follow up with your prospects. Anything else? Any questions on that?
I love them. I mean, I think that's such great perspective, especially the one with a couple of gimmicky things. The one with the missing piece. I love that. Just little creative, unique.
Right? Isn't that fun?
Art. Yeah, I remember my father-in-law telling me one time he would mail these cards. It was like a deck of cards. So he took out basically like a royal flush, and he'd be sending them over a period of time where almost daily they would get an envelope with his card for real estate. My wife's dad used to be big into real estate. He's passed away. But he started telling and say, hey, it's Larry Allen, whatever, here's just something. And he'd write a note on the card. And then he'd show up on their doorstep with the ace. And he'd say, hey, I'm your ace in the hole. Let's talk about, listing. So it just reminded me of that. I mean, that's a little cheesy and gimmicky, but I'll tell you what.
I love it.
A lot of people laughed. And he told me he got business that way. He was a really bright real estate guy.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
I think some things like that for sure to, set you apart and make this fun and not make it such a stodgy. One of the things that I've noticed, even talking to some brokers when I'm just calling on markets, is they can sort of condescend to you. Right? Well, I mean, it's not even so much cranky. It's more so condescending. Like, they don't do what we do, where, we're very inviting. Oh, man, that's awesome. You're looking for a jet. Is this for you or is it for a client of yours? I just love the engagement of how you teach that. So it's awesome. But with these, I'm definitely going to implement them. Hopefully you're going to post this onto our sales channel.
Yeah, for sure. We will. So here's the 30-day game plan. This is just one way. This is one game plan that you can use. You don't have to use it because we have a 365-day game plan as well. And we've got samples and how to do all this stuff. But basically the idea for 30 days, let me see if I have, it would be, day 0. So after you talk to them, text them. Then same day that you've talked to them, have your manager or have me call them. Hey, thanks so much for talking, with Alex. We look forward to doing business with you. It doesn't have to be a long call, but it's just a quick touch. Wow, these guys are on top of it. Day one, the next day, an idea call. Hey, I've got an idea. Give me a buzz back. And then you better have an idea, something to talk to. Same day, send out your handwritten letter. This is +1. Plus 2 days, offer them more information. Hey, what more information can I get you on that? And I'll take a picture of this, Izzy, so you can take a look at it. But what can I get you more information on? From the listing proposal I sent you. Day 2, validate. Hey, just touch base. I want to send you something. I just want to make sure I have the right email address or right phone number. Or, I'm sorry, direct address. So that would be a reason to call. Hey, I want to send you something. What's your address? Where do I send it to? Day 3, you can send them a video text. Hey, what's up? It's Alex. How's it going? Another email. Again, this email should have value. So already in 3 days from the day that I had the conversation, I've sent 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 touches, 8 follow-ups. You think anybody else is doing that? Heck no. You are standing apart. And the most important thing is you need to stand out with value. You can't just stand out because you're always hounding the guy. Right? The purpose is to create value. And we can work on this as a team to create how do we do this with value and not just bothering someone. But then day 4, offer a personal visit. Doesn't mean you make the personal visit, just offer, hey man, I'd love to come hang out with you for lunch. Like, when's a good time for me to swing by? Or I'm going to be in the area, or I'm going to be on the East Coast. Like, let's offer personal. That's just, again, creating value. Day 5, another.
That really helped build some rapport with
when we got a chance
one of my
to meet
clients.
with them.
Yeah.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Day 5, manager call. Hey, how come we haven't earned your business yet? Now, this would be for more of a warm call, right? Someone like, who we were talking about earlier this week.
Yeah.
So I might call them, hey, what's going on? Day 7, just thinking of you, thought of you, saw something, did something, heard something, thought of you. Day 10, an event offer. Hey, we're doing a webinar today. Come to the event. Or, hey, we're having a webinar in a week. Or, hey, we're going to be somewhere. We're going to be at NBAA in Las Vegas. You're going to be there. I mean, that's a great that's a great thing. Hey, are you going to NBAA? We're going to have some agents there. 14, manager call again. 21, send them links, send them blogs, send them information. Hey, how's the market? Listen, I saw this on Global Air. The market is slowing down right now. We're on pace to be the lowest amount of transactions in the last decade. Okay, things are kind of slow right now. If you've been thinking about making a move, like, let's get on this because it's gonna pick up. Day 30, a video text / email. And so we've got over a year's worth of follow-up on this. So do you guys have any questions on that stuff before we go into more detail?
No, that sounds awesome. I love all those touches. One question I do have with like the manager sort of perspective or influence, does that diminish credibility for the salesperson?
No, I think if I'm the manager doing it right, I should be building up the salesperson.
Okay, so edifying the salesperson, that makes sense to me. Only because there's something in the auto industry that I detested called a TO, a takeover, where basically a manager.
It's not a takeover.
Okay.
It's not a takeover.
Okay.
It's all about the agent, and it's pumping up the agent with a third party, and it's also helping the conversation keep the conversation going, because sometimes the owner won't say something to the agent, but they'll say something to the manager. Because almost they like the agent better, and they don't necessarily like the manager, so that they'll be a little bit more open. Like, well, I don't like this, or this is happening, or this is why I'm not doing something. So, and it allows the manager to ask the hard questions that maybe the agent doesn't want to yet, and get the answers that we need to move the deal forward, but without potentially damaging the relationship between the agent and the client. So my goal with manager calls would be to build up the agent.
Excellent.
All right, cool. Well, with that, I'm going to end that.